You're praying wrong. Discover the hidden power of vibrational prayer. What if I told you that the most powerful prayer of your life has no words, doesn't begin with God, and that perhaps without realizing it, you've been praying for scarcity, illness, and pain every single day? In this video, I'm going to reveal the secret no one has told you about magical Ho'oponopono, the practice that is transforming lives based on one single thing: your emotional vibration. This video is for you if you've already tried everything, but still feel like your life isn't flowing. For you who prays, affirms, visualizes, but continues to attract difficulties. Here you will understand why this happens, and more importantly, how to change the frequency of your prayer to activate miracles, healing, prosperity, and peace. I will show you real stories, practical techniques, and the path to align yourself vibrationally with God. Do you feel tired of asking and nothing happening? Do you feel like you're vibrating in fear, desperation, doubt? Then stay with me until the end, because today you will discover that it's not what you say that manifests. It's what you feel. And your true prayer can change everything. Starting today, you don't pray only with words. You pray with what vibrates. Now that you understand that prayer is not an isolated act, but a continuous state, I want to reveal something to you that can change the way you live. You are praying all the time, even when you don't realize it. And that is what is creating your reality. You don't need to kneel or speak loudly to pray. Your vibration is praying for you constantly. Your feelings are invisible commands sent to the universe, and God responds to vibration, not desperation. Have you ever stopped to consider that when you feel fear, you are praying for more reasons to be afraid? When you despair, are you asking for more reasons to struggle? It's painful to admit, but liberating to realize. What you feel right now is the prayer being heard. Every emotion you sustain is like an energetic request sent to the magnetic field of creation. It doesn't matter if you're asking for peace with words. If your body vibrates with anxiety, you are praying for more chaos, and the universe obediently responds with more of the same frequency. This is why so many people say, "I pray so much, but nothing changes." Because they aren't praying with faith. They are praying with fear. They are affirming with doubt. They are praying with their hearts locked in scarcity. And prayer born of doubt begets more doubt. Only vibrational prayer born of inner certainty generates real miracles. You know that moment when everything seems to go wrong and you feel like there's no point in praying anymore. That is precisely the moment when you are praying the most, but for the opposite of what you desire. Your pain is praying, your frustration is praying, your low self-esteem is asking to continue suffering. And it's not your fault. It's an unconscious cycle. But when you understand this, you awaken. You begin to observe your emotions as if they were spiritual decrees. You realize that feeling is choosing, and choosing is praying, and praying is creating. And this is where magic Ho'oponopono comes in. A simple yet profoundly transformative practice that cleanses what you feel to make space for what you want to experience. I've guided people who spent years praying for healing, for money, for love, with no results. And it was only when they started monitoring what they were feeling, and not just what they were saying, that the magic began to happen. I'll even tell you about one of them in the next chapter. But first, answer me something. Can you identify what your daily vibrational prayer has been? Comment below, "My vibration is my prayer." If this resonated with you, you are not here by chance. The calling has already begun. You don't attract what you ask for, you attract what you feel. Vibration speaks louder than words. Now that you understand you are praying all the time with your vibration, it's time to delve into one of the most powerful keys to manifestation. Feeling is the true request. Life does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you vibrate. Perhaps you're asserting, I desire prosperity, I desire peace, I desire health. But what are you feeling as you utter these words? Anxiety, fear, impatience? The universe doesn't interpret words, it interprets the emotional field behind them. You can repeat, I am prosperous 1,000 times. But if inwardly you're terrified of not paying your bills, your vibration is still one of scarcity. It's akin to shouting, help me, with a locked heart. The request travels, but the door remains shut. And do you know why? Because God resides in the frequency of love. Everything you feel that stems from love, peace, joy, gratitude, well-being, is aligned with the divine presence. Everything that emanates from fear, despair, guilt, anger, comparison, disconnects you from the source. One of the greatest misconceptions is believing that the feeling of scarcity will vanish once abundance arrives. But it's precisely the opposite. Abundance only arrives when the feeling of fullness precedes it. This may seem unfair, but it is spiritual. Creation is vibrational. Manifestation is a reflection. You cannot wait to feel it afterward. You must feel it first. And this is where magical Ho'oponopono enters as a liberating tool. It doesn't force change. It cleanses the root that prevents you from feeling what you need. With simple, targeted phrases, you begin to dissolve the energetic knots of fear, doubt, and lack. And the most beautiful part is that you feel the relief almost immediately. I recall a woman who wrote to me saying, I had been repeating affirmations for months, but it wasn't until I started doing Ho'oponopono for blessed scarcity that I managed to feel peace. And that's when the money started to arrive. She understood what you need to understand now. The right feeling opens the right door. If this resonated with you, comment here. I've already won, because merely understanding this represents a paradigm shift. In the next chapter, I'll share a true story of someone who fell into the wrong frequency and how they managed to turn everything around with this practice. You can know the path, but if you go off frequency, everything seizes up. Blessing demands alignment. Now that you understand that feeling is prayer, I want to tell you the true story of a man who had already reaped blessings with Ho'oponopono. But upon disconnecting from the right vibration, he saw his life stall. His name is Eduardo, and what happened to him might be happening to you right now without you even realizing it. Eduardo had already experienced wonderful transformations with magical Ho'oponopono. He knew the power of the practice. He had already felt the flow of abundance, peace, and lightness. But, as happens with many, life's routine crept in, and he drifted away. Work stress, financial pressure, and frustrations began to displace his spiritual practice, and his vibration started to plummet. In a short time, the signs appeared. Businesses faltering, opportunities closing, arguments at home, mounting debts. Eduardo prayed, yes, but he prayed with anger, with fear, with desperation. And the universe, like a vibrational mirror, responded with more challenges. He hadn't realized that his new prayer had become daily worry. Until in a moment of despair, he saw one of my videos again, and he felt God calling him back to alignment. He resumed magical Ho'oponopono with discipline. He began to clear, "Blessed Eduardo, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful. I love you." And he also started doing the money Ho'oponopono, repeating it with faith to clear everything that was blocking his prosperity. Then the unexpected happened. He remembered a tax refund amount, money that wouldn't arrive until the last batch at the end of the year. He went to the bank to request early payment. He was poorly treated, humiliated. He returned home, but he didn't allow himself to vibrate in despair. He did what many wouldn't. He breathed, he cleared, and he trusted. The next day, without warning, the full amount was deposited into his account in advance. This wasn't luck. It was frequency. The blessing was already in the field, but it could only manifest when he cleared his internal blockages, when he returned to center, when his prayer once again became faith, not fear. Comment now, "I receive," if this story resonated with you. And remember, you can know the path, but only those who maintain the right frequency live miracles continuously. In the next chapter, I will show you how Ho'oponopono acts on your subconscious mind and why it works even when you don't immediately believe. You don't need to understand everything to live the miracle. You need to practice until you feel it. Eduardo's story demonstrated that knowing the technique isn't enough. One must embody the process. But perhaps you're still wondering, why is Ho'oponopono so effective? In this chapter, I'll explain in a simple yet spiritual way why this practice purifies your vibration and draws miracles into your life. You might not believe it at first, but your subconscious is already listening. The vibration arrives before the faith. Eduardo's story has shown you that vibration creates reality, but perhaps you still wonder, how can repeating a phrase change my life? In this chapter, I will demonstrate why Ho'oponopono genuinely works, not solely on a spiritual plane, but also on mental, cellular, and vibrational levels. Ho'oponopono is akin to a quantum key. It operates on the deepest stratum of the mind, the subconscious. This segment of your psyche governs 95% of your actions, habits, reactions, and outcomes, as Bruce Lipton elucidated. When you reiterate, "I am sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful, I love you," you are in the process of purging memories, traumas, and beliefs that operate covertly and consequently sabotage your life. Perhaps you might contend, "But I repeat it and feel nothing." That is perfectly acceptable. Vibration functions effectively even without profound emotion initially. It is analogous to taking a shower. You may be preoccupied, yet you emerge cleansed. Ho'oponopono is an energetic ablution. The more you repeat, the more layers are washed away until you begin to perceive a shift within yourself, a lightness, a sense of peace. I received a message from a follower who wrote, "Bet I began without conviction, merely repeating the phrases perfunctorily. However, on the 5th day, I wept inexplicably. I experienced such immense relief, and within that week, I secured a position I had been pursuing for months." This is Ho'oponopono in action. The practice purifies the energetic field prior to transforming external circumstances. You can direct this purification toward any area: Blessed anxiety, blessed unemployment, blessed fear, blessed debts. This is not to romanticize the problem. Rather, it is to embrace vibrational accountability. When you open yourself to cleansing, you cease to contend with life and begin to harmonize with it. Indeed, Joe Dispenza articulates a profound insight. When you change your emotion, you change the chemistry of your body. This is precisely what transpires with Ho'oponopono. You cease to fuel the stress system and commence activating coherence between your heart and mind. The frequency of gratitude begins to circulate, reconnecting you with the source. You need not comprehend everything to experience the miracle. You must practice with consistency, even on challenging days, even when fatigued. For daily vibrational cleansing is what safeguards your inner prayer. The blessing already exists. What is lacking is not God's attentiveness. It is your failure to clear what obstructs the path of manifestation. Comment now. The cleansing has begun. If you feel this practice is calling you back home. In the subsequent chapter, we shall delve into the narrative of Helena, a woman who shed weight, divested property, acquired an automobile, and established an empire from its genesis through applied vibration, gratitude, and faith. If you still doubt that Ho'oponopono can transform all areas of your life, your body, finances, family, home, this story will dissolve any remaining resistance. Helena is living proof that when you vibrate with gratitude, even the impossible aligns in your favor. It all began with a piece of land that was proving exceptionally difficult to sell. Nothing was moving. However, Helena, inspired by a cousin living in Sweden, decided to try the magical Ho'oponopono. She started with a simple yet faith-filled affirmation: land, sold, and blessed. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful, I love you. And before long, the land was sold. Feeling emboldened, she expanded her practice. She began to declare, "My house renovated and blessed." And she succeeded in renovating her home. Next, she decided to focus on her health. She weighed 103 kilograms and started repeating with love, "I weigh 70 kilos. I am grateful for my healthy body." In a short time, she underwent bariatric surgery and reached precisely the desired 70 kilo. She resonated with the outcome before living it, and it manifested. But it didn't stop there. She began visualizing her new car, my T-Cross, purchased and blessed. She pictured herself driving it, expressing gratitude even without possessing it. Shortly thereafter, her husband bought the exact car she had envisioned. Every vibration was answered. Every heartfelt prayer was fulfilled. The frequency of certainty creates realities. What was most remarkable was the birth of her boutique. She started by selling used clothing from her garage. But every day, she practiced Ho'oponopono with the phrase, "My blessed boutique." In a short time, the garage transformed into a sales hub, which then evolved into a store in the city center. Today, she presides over the most sought-after vintage shop in Ribeirão das Neves. A woman who started from scratch and built an empire. Helena understood the code. She stopped asking like a beggar and began praying like an owner. She resonated with "I can, I am, I receive." And the universe responded with divine precision. This isn't merely motivational, it's a spiritual formula that works for anyone willing to maintain the frequency. Comment now. I resonate with it already being mine, if you felt this truth in your heart. And in the next chapter, you will understand why gratitude is the ultimate accelerator of manifestations. The emotion of gratitude is a spiritual key that activates miracles. Gratitude is the proof that you have already received, and when you feel you possess it, the universe hastens to confirm. After hearing Helena's story, perhaps you're wondering, but why did it work so quickly for her? The answer is simple yet profound. She utilized gratitude as her foundational vibration. And when you vibrate with gratitude before you manifest, you attract far faster than you can imagine. He who gives thanks first activates heaven first. The miracle begins when the heart expands. Opening narration, emotional guidance with spiritual authority. After hearing Helena's story, it becomes evident those who resonate with "I already have it" receive much faster. And this is no coincidence. It's a vibrational code known as anticipatory gratitude. When you give thanks before the miracle, you demonstrate that you already believe, and the universe responds with divine precision. This truth is not new. In the Bible, before multiplying the loaves and fish, Jesus gave thanks. He did not ask. He did not beg. He looked at the little he had, raised his eyes and said, "Father, I give you thanks." And that's where the multiplication began, because gratitude is not a consequence of the miracle. It is its vibrational seed. Joe Dispenza explains that the emotion of gratitude creates a coherent electromagnetic field, capable of influencing the body and the surrounding field. In other words, when you feel genuine gratitude, even without a visible result, your body believes it has already won. And this vibration opens doors that were locked. Monique, for example, was grateful for a healthy relationship even while living in a toxic one. She would say, "I am grateful for my blessed husband." Months later, she met another man, married him, and together they restarted their lives. What changed? The feeling. She began to give thanks as if she already possessed it. Want to practice now? Close your eyes for 10 seconds and think of something you desire greatly. It could be a home, a job, a healing, a new beginning. Now imagine yourself living it and say in a low voice, "I am so grateful for already living this. Thank you, God, for this answered blessing." Feel it, breathe it, allow it. This is the prayer of certainty. Gratitude breaks the cycle of scarcity. When you give thanks, you move from lack to overflow. You declare that you are already complete, even without external evidence. And this vibration communicates to the universe that you are ready. Gratitude is the vibrational signature of those who trust. And trust creates realities. Comment now, "I give thanks as if I already had it." If you are ready to live at this frequency, I will show you why protecting your vibration daily is so essential, and how Ho'oponopono prevents you from returning to fear. Now that you understand the power of gratitude and vibration, I need to tell you something few people mention. It's not enough to vibrate correctly just once. You must maintain the frequency. Manifestation isn't merely a singular moment of alignment. It's a state of permanence, and for that you require daily energetic protection. You don't need to fight the world. You only need to protect your frequency. Now that you understand the power of gratitude and alignment, it's time to grasp a crucial point. The world will attempt to pull you off your frequency every single day. And if you aren't vibrationally protected, you'll revert to the same patterns of fear, haste, anger, and scarcity. Therefore, vibrational protection is a daily practice. Have you ever had a beautiful day filled with prayer, peace, hope, only for a message, a piece of news, or a negative conversation to shatter it all? That's the external field attempting to reprogram your vibration. If you do nothing, your energy will be automatically channeled into the collective frequency of fear. And that's precisely why daily Ho'oponopono is your spiritual shield. Practicing Ho'oponopono every morning is like sealing your energy field with light. It's you declaring, "Today, I choose to vibrate with God, not with chaos." Before checking your phone, before absorbing the outside world, declare your name plus blessed. Repeat it 21 times. Breathe, feel it. This anchors you to the axis of peace. And it's not just in the morning. Throughout the day, you will be tested. It could be a criticism, a demand, an unforeseen event. These are the vibration thieves. When you notice yourself reacting with anger or fear, pause and quietly repeat, "Blessed anger. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful. I love you." This practice dissolves the trigger in the moment. Many people say, "Bet it feels like just when I start improving, something happens to pull me back." And I reply, it's not punishment, it's cleansing. Everything that was hidden begins to surface when you align yourself, and you have a choice. React as you did before, or cleanse with consciousness. This is your test of vibrational maturity. You don't need to live in constant spiritual warfare. You simply need to protect your frequency. You can visualize a golden light surrounding you. Repeat Ho'oponopono in the shower, in traffic, before sleeping. Each repetition is vibrational armor, and the more you practice, the less the world can drag you back into fear. Comment now, "My frequency is shielded," if you are committed to this daily practice. Let's conclude with the most important revelation of all. The most powerful prayer in the world is already within you, and it all begins when you decide to vibrate like someone who has already received. You don't need to seek the miracle outside. The miracle is you, when you choose to vibrate as if you already possess it. Have you noticed? Everything you call prayer isn't in the words that leave your mouth, but in the vibration emanating from your heart. True prayer doesn't just happen when you close your eyes and speak to God. It happens when you choose to vibrate love, gratitude, peace, and certainty, even when you can't see anything yet. Every thought you nurture, every feeling you feed, every time you choose peace over distress, you are praying. And God responds to that vibration. The universe responds to what you feel, not just to what you say. This is why magical Ho'oponopono is so powerful. It aligns you with the divine that lives within. You weren't made to chase after miracles. You were made to assume your position as a co-creator with God. And this begins when you give thanks for all that you haven't yet seen, but which is already yours in the unseen. The frequency of gratitude is where miracles descend, where abundance reveals itself, where healing flourishes. Today, you received a calling to truly pray, to pray with your heart, with feeling, with energy. You've learned that repeating, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful, I love you," can transform your entire reality, because it transforms your vibration, and your vibration transforms everything. So tell me, are you ready to live in this new state? ready to vibrate as someone who has already received. Comment now, I pray with my vibration, if you felt this video was for you. And if this content touched your heart, share it with someone who needs it, like subscribe to this channel and activate the bell. Because every week I bring a new spiritual code for you to align, manifest, and live a life of miracles. I love you. You are a blessing, and never forget, true prayer is you whole vibrating love. Life, surprise me.